guys, what's going on? It's your boy Saglitch, aka Sag. Today, I wanted to give you, before we get into the gist of the video, I wanted to give you a clear and concise explanation of everything that's going on here. I tend to ramble at times. I'm trying to make things more focused and to the point for this video. Otherwise, we are going to be here for a very long time. So, looking at how to script the video or actually outline the video more like it, I thought back to the English classes or ELA classes, and I thought back to the 5 essential questions. We got what, when, where, why, and how. The who doesn't matter because the who is just myself and my immediate family. So my wife, myself, and my 2 dogs. But with that being said, I'm moving, and we're not going off the grid like the shirt says. We're going, well, you'll watch the video and figure it out. Sit back, lean back, get you a drink, get you a snack, and let's talk this out. What? That's right. You heard correctly. We are going to be moving from our current location to Orlando, Florida in the next couple of months. We're taking the next step in the next chapters of our lives, or the next step in our life, or whatever you want to call it. In a gaming sense, it's known as leveling up. And we're straight up leveling up from our current position. We knew eventually that we would be making our way up north from our current location to be closer to mine and my wife's family. Now that my wife's family or my wife's parents have moved up to the Orlando area, we didn't have anything holding us down here as far as roots. Like her family or my family are definitely not down here. They moved to Orlando 2 years ago to be closer to our nephew, who our my middle sister-in-law, but my wife's middle sister. It's going to make things easier for us and gave us a reason to start the transit up there. We're very close to our families, even more so now that our nephew's born. We want to be a very integral part of his life growing up and eventually start our own family. And with that, we wanted the support of our family members and make new friends while we're up there. What makes it easy is my wife's parents and her sister live in the same community. Actually, they live approximately about 1,000 yards away from each other. It's in the same development. It's just across the lake, so that kind of helps out. We were also making the travel to Orlando and back every other weekend. So it just makes sense now that we have a reason to go up and this year's done with, as far as teaching wise, that we make that transit up there. It's going to be easier for us to see her oldest sister who lives in Jacksonville, as well as make the travel from my parents' house in South Carolina and back a little bit more doable rather than completely adding 3 more hours than where we're already at. I want to make this clear before we go even further into it that no, we are the only ones making our choice. There's nothing that is outside weighing in on this choice. This is solely on my wife and I. It is our decision personally to be closer with family and to move up with the in-laws for the time being. This is something that my wife and I have talked about for a while. We have no ill will towards anybody down here located in this area, whether it be our employer, fellow teachers, students, family members, friends of people that we hang out with a good bit. We have no ill will towards those people. Eventually, we're going to come back and visit every now and then. It's not like we're going to go up and never come back. For the families and students and everybody that's came into contact with me over the years, I have nothing but love in my heart for you guys. I really do. There's a weird feeling that I'm not a huge emotional guy. There's a weird feeling that I have this massive, massive love and massive part of me that's invested in everyone that I've come into contact with. I wouldn't trade anything in the world for the people and events and things that have happened that I've experienced living in the Palm Beach area. This is a choice that we did not take lightly. It's something that we thought about, and we realized that ultimately in the long run for us, it's the right choice. For you guys that want to keep in touch, for you guys that I have came into contact with, the talk that I've communicated with over the years, you know how to get in touch with me. Nothing's going to change our relationship other than the distance. And if you guys want to come in contact with me, you know, if you know my phone number, you know how to reach out to me. If you know my YouTube, you guys know how to reach out to me. If you guys know my social media, the fact is, you know how to get in touch with me. I'm on there all the time. I'm making sure that I'm not only growing, but making sure the people I already have that I'm communicating with and that they know that I'm going to still support them no matter where I am located. Just know that anything that I've said to you and everything I've said to you and everything that we've done together and everything that has transgressed since the time that we've met, I'm going to remember. I look to each and every single one of you as my own family members. You guys know that if you know me personally, you know that I was the only child growing up. I didn't have brothers or sisters. I have a very close knit family with my parents. I have a very tight family relationship with my wife and and my in laws. So with that, it's not like I'm going to lose room in my heart. I'm a big guy. The bigger the guy, the more personal he is. The bigger the guy, the bigger the relationships are sometimes. So with that being said, I'm not going anywhere just because I'm moving. You guys mean a lot, and I hold a special place in my heart for each and every one of you. Where? As stated earlier in the video, we are moving up from the Palm Beach Gardens area to the Orlando area, more specifically the Orange County area to be exact. Although we will not be living in our own house right away, we're not going to be living in downtown Orlando. We'll be more on the outskirts of things, very close to Disney actually, but in a neighborhood that overlooks it where my in-laws are at. We will be moving into the townhouse that my in-laws have, which again is in the same community that my sister-in-law is. And the great thing about that is we're going to be able to see our nephew every single day. What's crazy though, and I told you guys we're going to be kind of close to Disney. If you look out from the townhouse every night when the fireworks are going off in Magic Kingdom when it reopens, every single night you can see the fireworks from the back porch. And usually when we go up, my wife and myself and my in-laws or my oldest sister-in-law, when she comes down to visit, if she's there, we all hang out outside, a nice little drink, cool off, and watch the fireworks go off by Magic Kingdom. It's really actually kind of nice. Being able to experience Magic Kingdom without having to be there and be part of the groups. When? This is the only question that my wife and I cannot give a clear and concise answer to. We don't know when we'll be going up. You guys might know at this time where I'm filming, where I'm writing the script and I'm filming this video, we are technically in week 8 of the last 9 weeks of school. So I have this week and next week to finish everything out, as far as also the 8th grade graduation, where it's going to be weird not being able to talk to the kids. They're basically going to be driving by as we wave. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be good. Maybe it's going to be weird. I don't know. We can't come in contact with them. And I understand that from a COVID-19 standpoint. I agree wholeheartedly that we're not going to be spreading any germs. So this past weekend, and this past Monday and Tuesday, my wife, myself, and my mother and father-in-law, who came down to help us, packed up my wife's classroom and put it in a storage unit on Saturday and Sunday. Mostly Saturday, actually. We only took about 2 or 3 hours on Sunday to get done. But that was an entire day just for my wife's classroom. Me personally, while we were gone and putting things away on Sunday, me and my father-in-law did the heavy lifting and put things up. They stayed in my classroom and actually packed everything up for me. So it was nice when I got back, I was able to move out immediately. Okay, so if you're counting up the days, we're now about 3 days in. 3 days for just 2 rooms. And really 3 days for 1.5 rooms. Looking around here, we have a lot of furniture. Most of it's not coming up with us. We have to pack a ton of stuff. And again, I've talked about this in previous videos where my wife is an amazing teacher. She has so many resources throughout the house. And we're not going to just give them up, because the fact of the matter is it's tens of thousands of dollars just throughout the house. Now, everything can't make the trip with us, but we are going to have to actually sit down this weekend and start packing. It's not going to take in a weekend. It's going to take a week, if not 2 weeks, if not a month, and things are going to be lost on the way. It is what it is. We just have to make sure the most valuable things come with us, and things that we can depart with, we have to depart with. We have to start making that choice now. So with that being said, also with the win, we have to make sure, not just professionally, but personally that we are ready to move. We need to make sure that everything comes with us. When moving, you also have to not only take your stuff out, but find a potential buyer for the place. So we have to do that as well. That's going to kind of suck. We're trying to stay away from the realtors if we can and put the place on Zillow. And hopefully we're just reaching out to a couple people who may know some people, and maybe we just go through it that way and just get lawyers. But until that time is, we have to keep this place up and running until we are able to sell it. I don't have an answer as to when we're going, but I would really love to see some people before I leave. How? This is not something that we took in lightly or taken into the last second to do. We started to take the appropriate steps, putting feelers out to local schools in the area, the Orlando area, especially the Orange County area. And we've been applying to different jobs that had openings. Now, the great thing is, when you're in the district, you're set. There's a lot of teachers, and you guys who are teachers, you know this. I'm coming from a charter school, so it's harder to get into places. When you're in, you have so many more options than were available to you when you were teaching charter. I received a few interviews throughout the first couple weeks. One went really well, but I had to wait on that school to either accept or say they're moving on. During that time, I took another interview, and that school that I interviewed at immediately offered me a position where I said, I would have to think about it and wait on my wife's decision, because we understood, my wife and I understood that if one of us didn't get a job and one of us did, we can't automatically move up. She, on the other hand, received a couple of interviews, but was offered a job like that. Like mid-interview, it was over. And that kind of tells you the kind of teacher she is. She's an amazing person, amazing teacher, and someone that we would all look up to be if you're in the teaching profession. This is going to be a different experience because if you guys don't know, I've talked about this in a couple of my videos. My wife and I currently at this charter school that we teach at the same school. It is a K-8 charter school. It's going to be a different experience because I'm on one side of the Orlando area and she's on the other. The drive's not that bad because approximately I have about a 19-minute drive and it is on like 2 roads, whereas she has a 20-something minute drive, and that depends on traffic because she actually has to go through a couple of the bigger roads to get to her school. At the time, like I was telling you guys, we are going to be moving into our in-laws who are going to help us out. This is not the first time we've lived with my mother and father-in-law. We made that choice when moving from an apartment and waiting to get a townhouse. We made that choice to live with them, and it was 6 months. This isn't an ideal situation or ideal relationship, and we know that things are going to be a little bit tough. We're going to be as easygoing as possible. We're going to try not disrupt their life, but at the same time, we hang out already as it is, so we're happy and grateful that we have such a great relationship with our in-laws. They're saying how it'll be a whole year before we're able to move out. We're trying to do the best to our abilities. We're not settling on a spot that we're unhappy with, but we're also going to continuously look so that we don't infringe on other people's lives. That's not who we are. If you guys know me, I hate letting people down and imposing my will on other people. We're always going to be trying to get through the next step. The process is, once we're there, the next step would be finding our own place. Again, it's always continuously moving. Time doesn't stop. Your plans should never stop. You should always get to one point and keep climbing. Now, is it immediately success? No. So that concludes the explanations of everything going on. I'm pretty sure I covered the what, when, why, how, and where. This is a little part of the video that I wanted to take to personally thank every single person that I've helped or come in contact with or shared an experience with. People who I've gotten to know over the last 10 years down here personally. We'll always have a place for you in our hearts, my wife and I. You guys are going to be so close. I definitely won't ever forget any of you guys. What sucks is that this is not farewell. What this is a goodbye for now. We'll make time and effort to continue our relationships with each and every one of you. We'll definitely come down and see you guys. No matter what happens, I care and am personally invested in each and every single one of my friends, students that I've taught, students that I currently teach, and their family. I always want to help out as much as I can and will always continue to help out as much as I can. For the teachers that I teach with, you guys probably won't ever see this, but we literally go to war every single day. You guys are my brothers and sisters. You guys are the ones who I turn to when I'm having a bad day. You're ones I turn to for advice. You're ones I turn to for anything that I can get help with. For my students, you guys look to me for leadership. You guys look to me to educate you, and I'm hoping that Not only did I help you academically, but I helped you personally to mature, to become the young adults that you guys are getting into. For the guys that I game with, I'll still be me. You guys know me, especially Rob and Chomp. You guys have been there for me. I appreciate it. For you guys that are my former students that play games with me, I'm here. All right. You want to game up sometime? If I got room and I have time for you, I promise I will settle it. You gotta realize Mr. C and Sag are two different people. So you're coming across from professional to personal. And if I say something that upsets you, you can't take it personally. It's just who I am. It's not that I have split personalities, but in reality, I kind of do when it comes to my professional life and my personal life. For you guys that have been showing some love to the videos, this is for you guys. This is for the viewers themselves. I don't care if you've been with me since day one or you're just now checking out this video and you're wondering what the hell this guy is talking about. I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this. I really appreciate you guys. I know I ramble sometimes. I know I don't bring the best content, but you will never say I'm not 100% with you guys. You'll never say that my personality doesn't change every single video. This is who I am. And I bring you guys the best quality and best abilities and best actual videos that I can bring you. I'm going to help transition. I'm going to bring you guys more and more videos throughout the years. I'm going to hopefully try to transition and film us moving. Understand that there's going to be some things that we keep personal. I don't share every single little detail, but I try to share as much as I can. I talk about my nephew a lot. We hang out with him, obviously, but I don't like to put him on video without the express consent of his mom, aka my sister-in-law. I would never do that. That's just something that I would never do. I want to be able to share some things and to provide entertainment and advice and just a connection with those who are watching this video as much as I can. I've gotten a ton of support in this community. I've gotten a ton of support in the communities that I've joined. And I just want to continue that support and share some love. I'm not one of those guys that subs for subs. I would never ask you guys to subscribe if you don't like it. If you don't like it, I'm not going to take offense to it. If you do like it and you want to check out more stuff, hey, there's a little button down there. Subscribe, hit it. Click a little like button. Let me know by clicking the check or the thumbs up or whatever it is nowadays. Let me know what you enjoy. That way I know what to bring to you guys. Please understand one thing. I'm not being selfish or ridiculous about this. I'm going to bring to my channel what I want to. And usually that's not a lot of the games that are on the forefront. And I'm not just jumping into the trends that are there. I don't believe in that. I'm not a person that would do that. I'm genuinely me. And although I probably could better outreach and better sub counts and better whatever, that's not who I am. I make my videos for you guys. I make it so that you can connect with me personally. I make it to entertain people. It is there as a pastime for me, but understand that if it ever gets to the point where it affects me personally or professionally, I have to separate myself. With this, I wanted to thank each and every single one of you guys, every single one of my subscribers, every single one of you guys, even if you're not a subscriber who came to watch this video, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch it. If you're still here by now, hey, I must have did something right, or you just forgot to turn it off. Either way, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for everything. For you guys that are still here, it truly does mean something. It's going to be hard over the next couple of days to move on from this area and to start our life. It's going to be scary. It's going to be nerve-wracking. We're going to fight. My wife and I are going to fight. We're going to be nervous. And any support that you guys can give, whether it's subbing, whether it's offering advice, whether it's just reaching out to me on Twitter or YouTube or Reddit, it's welcome. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Hopefully this was entertaining enough. Again, it's the next step in our lives, and I wanted to bring it to you before I just go away if I have to for a little bit. Hopefully this Friday is treating you guys nicely. Hopefully you guys are safe wherever you are. We're almost out of the whole phases. That doesn't mean life is going back to normal, but we're starting to get there. Continue to grow, continue to be safe wherever you are, continue to be happy. Do what makes you happy. Thank you for coming by. Stay safe. I'm out. Let's get that sign out. Let's get that video rolling and didn't see that coming.